stop. We've been waiting for this for
4 months.
4 months. And it's here.
Yes.
All right, time to unbox this and see it.
Can I do it?
Go for it. So it came with this book, which we initially thought were the instructions, but it's actually just a printing guide to help you once it's already assembled. So we were able to load the instructions here on our iPad. We'll see how this goes.
Fingers crossed. All of those, they just say the size and everything. They don't say what they go to. So it looks like there's multiple uses for each one of these, which is cool. It's fine. So we got some of the frame done. It's very critical. They say in the instructions that the long side faces the Prusa logo. So I did that, and then the short guys are on the back. And now we're on to the Y-axis front plate assembly. So the next they say is to do the mounting anti-vibration feet. So there's 4 of them, and then we have these clips. Time will tell where these go. All right, and these are the cable clips. They go in the corners to hold cables.
That makes sense.
That's right. Next is the power supply, the PSU. So we have the 24 volt, 240 watt power supply, and then it's kept in by a couple of screws. So we'll do that now. Alright, so next is the X-Buddy box. Looks like this guy. We got all the screws here. Looks like it mounts right here. Goes right on there. Let's see how we do.
So we'll take a minute to look at the care sheet. It's actually pretty helpful because the bolts are labeled with some pretty interesting names like M3, M4, M5, and without knowing what that is,
all I would think is that's a double agent over in England. So.
Sure, but this will help out a lot. Also, we saw on the bottom that we have the birthday of our machine. So it was born and assembled in the factory just a couple days ago. Today is the 21st of August, and it was assembled on the 17th. So it made it from the Czech Republic here to the United States in 4 days. It's pretty good.
So the next is installing the X-Buddy. It looks like this is probably like the board to the whole thing. It's in this anti-static wrap, so we held off taking it out till now. Looks like we gotta take it out, and we're gonna add some thermal paste, and then we put him in his home. assembly. We need the thermal pad. I'm going to need you for this again. And then some screws, and then it looks like it goes on the Y motor, obviously. And it looks like they're actually, the motors are actually labeled X, Y, and Z, so that's nice.
Okay, so we've reached a very important step. It says, carefully and quietly open the bag of sweets. A high level of noise might attract nearby predators. So apparently, we've made it this far and we have earned this many gummy bears.
5.
5. Perfect.
We're on to the X mount stuff. So we got this guy plus all the little bolts that hopefully we don't lose. And oh look at that, first time. You need to put a little screw there, or a nut there. So now we got the grease and the bearings, and now we need to put the caps on. It says we need some rubber pads on them. So we're doing that, and then these bolt onto there. Alright, so now we got these little bearings with the rods, these guys. So it says to mark them after you look at the bearings in here, so we'll see what that is for later. Can't wait. So next we have to assemble the X carriage. So it's this guy, and it looks like we got a bunch of little fun screw bolts, nuts to put in here again. The M3N nuts, my favorite. So now we're going to put in the X motor system. We just finished the carriage on there, so now we got this part to finish up. Alright, next up we got the Z bottom part assembly. So we're going to start putting all of these bad boys together. So we got the ZXS motors. It looks like we got to do a little bit of some kind of assembly with them, and then they go in their mounts. So we have 125mm rods. They're going to be the guides for the Z-axis. They go in the recess holes over here. So now we're putting the X-axis gantry onto the Z-axis rods. Time to install the main extruder main cable. It says this thing needs to be in the center. It comes through the rod, so this will be kind of interesting. So next is the X carriage cable holder. Looks like it goes in the back, kind of hold all these guys up. So we get this guy mounted. There's a filament sensor and heatsink. So you just screw that in, and then there's this little thing here with a little ball back in here for the filament. So we're putting the extruder elements together. So it's these little pieces with all these little bearings. You gotta just put it together. Extruder part, we got all the gears in there, and then the idler. Now we didn't want to put the lubricant, and then I think we put the cap on. Alright, so now we're on to some more of the extruder part, and then my fear has come alive. We are now on to the tiniest screw known to mankind. Let's pray I don't lose this thing. I'm glad that they come with spares.
Yes, that is very helpful.
Like everything comes with a spare. And then into the front screws in here. We're loading the extruder now. One thing to note is make sure that the heatsink cable is the little cutout groove for it, and it is there. And then they have in big red letters, nothing is pinching. So, no pinching. So we're getting ready to install the heatsink. This is kind of, where the magic happens. So we got the whole mount on here, so now we're going to go ahead and get this guy mounted. So you have this new fan into here, and you have to flip it and route it through here. I'm not opening this up because that was not fun, but we'll figure it out.
But it's done.
She's in. So we got this all assembled. There's a magnet in right there. Then you put the same magnet in this little sleeve right here. They give you the instructions. Make sure you get them so they're polarized correctly. And now we just mount this guy in here.
And this is the fan?
There's two fans to cool everything down. This is the secondary one. So it sucks it in and it scoots it right under here. There's one on the heatsink right here. So pretty cool.
So one nice thing about having these instructions in a web browser instead of a paper packet is that you can actually zoom in and see details on the photos to get a better idea of what you need to do.
And then the other cool part is these arrows are colored specific to the next instruction. So like there's the purple and the green, like they tell you exactly where they go to the purple and the green. So then like this blue one goes to the top, and that was in the previous picture, and it goes up there. So the arrows and the notes kind of correlate.
It's been very helpful.
So we're mounting the screen. There we go, we got the panel on. Now we're mounting the PF fastener. Alright, now we're going to route all the wires up and around here. Alrighty, didn't want to bore you guys, but so the cables get connected and then they route through here. There's a zip tie here, here, and here. And then the motor gets attached to this zip tie. So. And then we mount the Y and the X. Those little labels right there, those little plastic things, those are the labels that tell you which is X and Y in case you get confused. Next is the ground cable right here. They have specific instructions. Make sure you don't hit that guy. And there's a little washer in there. So it's critical that the cables are this way. This one with the label, they say do not attach to the hot plate. Okay, now it says to do the red side. Again, not the one with the label. So we got that together. The bolts there, comes through there. Then we got the last of the weave. So we'll see what happens next. Alright, looks like we got all the parts. I'm gonna do a little more greasing and we'll go from there. So the rubber mat is a little concave, so I think you gotta do that to make sure you just get in there. We'll do that all three. Alrighty, we're on to the Y belt assembly. So far I've gotten this much of it done. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we got the plate on, bolts on. You can really see a couple of them because it's black on black in the shadows. So, but that's on. Everything's tensioned. We used the website they give you to check the hertz, which is pretty cool. So that's all set. Everything's tightened down. So everything's looking good. Everything's tracking pretty good. I don't see any binding or any issues. So now we're going to move on to bolting down the plate. So you see this little piece right here? That part goes over the screw, so it will look like that. Alright, looks like we're going to start getting the heat bed stuff set up in here. So we're going to take this guy, feed it through here. Okay. A lot of these say like spare one. There's actually only one left. That's pretty impressive. This one says there's two, and guess what? There's two. I'm amazed and astonished with myself here. Alright, we're on to the pre-flight check. First is we put our sheet on. Looks like that's that. A little pinchy. And then it's the latest firmware, and then it says to do the latest firmware, and I checked, it was August 3rd was the latest one, and this is August 22nd, but I'm going to go ahead and just get the latest one on the Prusa thumb drive, and then just go from there.